Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. I just had some lovely, delicious tacos, and I have not had tacos in a minute. It's been a while. So that was very nice, very lovely, and I believe I found my new taco truck in the area. But I digress from that and move into this. You know, there are a lot of people out here in this world that are living their lives inauthentically, pretending to be something that they're not. And then there are those that are living their lives authentically, being real and honest. And it's funny, and I say funny sarcastically, it's a shame, more so than funny, that individuals and or people that are living their lives authentically, real, respectfully, are the ones that are treated like shit by a lot of people out here in society, and the ones that are being fraudulent and liars and deceivers are the ones that are viewed as being, great and awesome and precious and so on and so forth. And it's not until those individuals get found out that people begin to realize, you know what? I was tricked and fooled by someone, yet other people that have been real and honest and truthful have been really, shitted on. And they make the changes. They change their behavior. They stop stereotyping. They stop being prejudiced. They stop being even racist. It's that whole, how you're raised and or the people that you're around can influence your behaviors and how you see and treat people. And it's not until you get out into the world and you meet these people that have been talked down about by people within your family, and you've been basically, what's the word I'm looking for? You've been lied to, you've been deceived, you've been manipulated into hating and or disliking people based on their skin color or based on their job, their money, their whatever prejudice, apply it. Now, the whole point, what I'm sharing here with you is never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover. Never assume that you know something about another person based off of what they look like. For instance, people will look at me and they may say, oh, you're a woman. You're a woman. Other people may look at me and say, oh, you're a man. Other people may look at me and say, oh, you're a transgender woman. And then there are people out there that might say, I'm not sure what you are. But I'm not going to assume. I'm going to ask. But they're going to be respectful regardless. And you have the respect throughout each one of those individuals. Some people don't know how to interact and or how to speak or talk with someone like myself. Most important thing is not taking offense to what people may say, but take offense to their actions, especially if they're negative, because people will do things intentionally to get a negative response out of you, even using their words. But, like I said, you have to note their actions, their behavior, and not just their words. For instance, I just came from this taco truck, right? And this guy was a blessing to me. This guy gave me my tacos for free. I told him that my situation, my position, and he helped me out with gas, and he gave me tacos for free. I appreciated that. And I told him, God bless you. He said, you too, sir. God bless you. And he said the sir, but he said it, it just happened. Now, he knows what I am. He more than likely knows who I am, but he didn't do it intentionally. I didn't take it offensively either. And he noticed that. He noticed that I didn't harp, I didn't get attitude, and it wasn't because he gave me free tacos. It wasn't because of that. It was because I knew he didn't mean to be offensive, but he also didn't know how to, because he may have never interacted with someone like myself, and I know that he hasn't. But he was still respectful, he was still kind, and he was polite, and he was a blessing. He was a cheerful giver. and God's going to bless him for that. That's the thing that matters. You have a lot of people, and you've seen it online, you've seen it on, different platforms where people have been recorded, transgender individuals as well as other individuals, black, white, Hispanic, male, female, they've been recorded, and they've been shown to be very angry and pissed off and upset because of something that was done against them offensively. And people were recording them because not just to document, but to kind of show, you see how they act, you see how they behave, that's why they're treated like that, that's why we don't like them, that's why we disrespect them. Well, the same thing goes for transgender individuals, which I've already told you I'm not. The same thing happens towards transgender individuals, where you have some individuals out there in the world that will take offense to being called sir and or being disrespected, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And they respond in a negative way. They act out. They become rude, belligerent, abusive, violent, angry. I'm changing that. I've been changing that. I understand that whether I'm transgender or not, I'm an example, but not just an example for transgenders, but I'm a representation and an example for God. Meaning that God holds me to a higher standard. And I said it, yes, a higher standard. To where he expects me to act and behave in a way that would be pleasing to him, regardless of if someone's being disrespectful towards me or not. He knows that I can handle it. He knows that I'm going to respond accordingly. And if it comes to the point where I have to turn up and go to another level that, is letting people know that I'm not the one you want to mess with, then I will do that. But I will also do that respectfully. And I will do that professionally. And I will be that authentically. And I know how not to take it to extremes that a lot of people take it to. Now, some people might want to challenge this, and I say, please don't. Don't challenge this with me, and don't challenge this with other people. First of all, I'm not like anybody else. And other people are nothing like me. And how other people may respond may be and will be different than how I respond. Another thing is, and I told somebody this last night, God has my back. And my angels have my back as well too. Meaning that I'm not somebody that you want to play with. You may not get the reaction that you're looking for out of me, but my angels and God will put you in a situation where somebody else will give you the reaction that you deserve and that you're looking for, and you won't be able to handle it. There are some people that you don't want to go to extremes with out here in this world, and I'm one of them. Because I have gone to extremes. And God has calmed me down. These extremes happened a long time ago. And even if I was valid for doing so, even if I was justified for doing so, he allowed that to happen for me to see how far I can go, but also how far people can take it. And how you can get into dangerous, extreme levels when you allow people's words and or actions to shift and or change how you behave and how you talk and how you act out here in this world, because you don't know who's watching. Cameras are all over the place. Everybody has a camera on their phone. And some of these people are looking for any opportunity where they can record you acting a fool, so that they can say, you know what, this is why we're justified in treating people like this. This is why we're justified in calling these people out. This is why we're justified in doing this, that, and the other. It's all a reason and an excuse, and it's provoked. Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking to provoke. Don't allow them to provoke you. It's not worth it. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Gotta go. Bye.